Have you ever opened your eyes in the morning and felt like your body just wasn't waking up with you? The joints feel stiff, the mind a little foggy, the energy not quite there. What if those first 5 minutes after you wake up held the secret to turning that around? Not just for the day, but for the years ahead? More and more doctors are finding that how we begin our morning after 65 can shape how long and how well we live. There's a quiet, simple routine being practiced by a few wise seniors that is helping them stay sharp, active, and independent deep into their 80s and beyond. You're about to discover what that morning practice is and how one man's life was completely transformed because of it. So if you've ever wondered what small change could make a big difference, stay with me. The next few minutes might just surprise you. Element 1, the morning hydration protocol. There is something powerful about the first moment you wake up. Your room is still quiet, the day has not yet asked anything of you, and your body is just beginning to stir from hours of rest. But did you know that this moment also holds the key to how well your heart, brain, and circulation function throughout the rest of the day? For those of us over 65, the body faces a hidden challenge the moment we open our eyes, one that many overlook. Yet it could shape how many healthy years we get to enjoy. You see, during sleep, the body loses water, not through sweat or physical movement, but quietly through breathing. According to research from the Harvard Longevity Institute, we lose nearly a pint of water just by being asleep for 7 to 8 hours. That may not seem like much, but for seniors, it creates a condition doctors call critical dehydration. And it doesn't just make you feel thirsty, it thickens your blood, strains your heart, and increases your risk of heart attacks and strokes, especially in those delicate morning hours. Dr. Benjamin Walker, a leading expert in geriatric medicine at the Cleveland Clinic, explains that this early morning dehydration forces the heart to work significantly harder. And if the first thing you put into your body is coffee, which acts as a diuretic, you are only adding to the strain. It is not about giving up your morning cup forever, but rather about choosing what comes first and choosing wisely. Let me share a story that speaks volumes. Shirley, a 73-year-old retired teacher from Minneapolis, began noticing a change. Some mornings she would feel lightheaded, her heart would race for no clear reason, and walking up the stairs became more exhausting than she remembered. At first, she thought it was just part of aging, but a visit to her cardiologist revealed something surprising. Her heart was working up to 31% harder than it should have been, and the culprit was morning dehydration. Like many others, she would start her day with coffee and little else. Shirley decided to make one small change. Each morning, before getting out of bed, she began drinking 16 ounces of room temperature water with the juice of a quarter lemon. She kept the glass next to her bed so she wouldn't forget. Within just 17 days, her dizziness faded, her energy began to return, and 6 months later, her doctor told her she had reversed several cardiovascular risk factors that had been developing quietly for years, all from one glass of water. This practice is called the morning hydration protocol, and it is one of the simplest yet most powerful routines you can add to your life. The water must be at room temperature. Why? Because cold water can cause your blood vessels to constrict, which tightens circulation at the very time your body needs it to open. Room temperature water gently dilates those vessels, improving blood flow and easing the pressure on your heart. The lemon is not just for taste, it adds electrolytes and vitamin C, which support arterial flexibility and help flush toxins from the body. If you do this one thing, before you even sit up fully, before your feet touch the floor, you are giving your body a chance to reset, rehydrate, and recharge from the inside out. And you are telling your heart, your brain, and your cells, I am taking care of you. It only takes a minute, yet it can shift the course of your day and potentially extend the quality of your years. So the question is not whether this works. The science, the stories, and the outcomes speak for themselves. The real question is, are you ready to begin tomorrow in a new way? To turn the simple act of drinking water into a gift you give your future self? You've cared for so many people in your life. Now it's time to care for you. Starting with one gentle glass each morning, let this small ritual become your daily promise to stay strong, stay clear, and stay here, thriving, not just surviving. Element 2, the 60-second circulation reset. There is something sacred about the first steps you take each morning. After hours of stillness, your body begins to awaken, and with it, a beautiful opportunity to support your heart, your brain, and your future health. What if I told you that in just 60 seconds, you could shift the way blood flows through your body, reduce your risk of stroke, and give your brain the oxygen it needs to stay sharp for years to come? It may sound too simple to be true, but the science is undeniable. Researchers at Johns Hopkins University have studied what happens to the body during those first fragile moments after getting out of bed. One thing they discovered is both concerning and promising. While we sleep, blood naturally pools in our legs due to gravity and stillness. For younger people, the body quickly adjusts upon waking. But for those of us over 65, this blood redistribution is slower and more dangerous. Without some form of movement, this creates a temporary dip in circulation to the brain and other vital organs, increasing the risk of clots, dizziness, and even strokes. Dr. Eleanor Thomas, a respected researcher in geriatric circulation, puts it plainly. Her team found that seniors who perform a gentle movement sequence within 1 minute of standing see up to 43% better cerebral blood flow throughout the day. That's not just a small shift. That's the difference between mental fog and clarity, between risk and resilience. In fact, she believes this single habit may protect the brain more effectively than many prescription medications taken after a stroke has already occurred. Let me share the story of Wesley, a 75-year-old retired accountant living in Portland. One morning, he woke up feeling off. His speech was slightly slurred, and he had a strange numbness in his left arm. His family rushed him to the hospital. Fortunately, it wasn't a full stroke, but the doctors warned him he had been dangerously close. Further scans showed sluggish blood flow in his carotid arteries and brain vessels during those early morning hours. Wesley's neurologist introduced him to a simple movement routine known as the 60-second circulation reset. It seemed almost too basic to matter, but Wesley took it seriously. 3 months later, follow-up imaging revealed a clear improvement in his vascular health. More importantly, Wesley says he feels sharper, steadier, and more present every single day. He credits that 1-minute ritual with helping him avoid what could have been a life-altering stroke. So what exactly is this 60-second reset? Right after getting out of bed, stand with your feet shoulder-width apart. Take a deep breath in while gently raising your arms overhead. Hold the stretch for a moment, then exhale slowly as you bring your arms back down. Next, rotate your shoulders backward 5 times, slowly and with care, then roll them forward 5 times. Finish the sequence with 10 heel raises. Simply rise up on your toes, hold for a second, then lower yourself back down with control. That's it. 1 breath, 1 stretch, a few rotations, and 10 gentle lifts. But what it does inside your body is extraordinary. It tells your blood vessels to open. It tells your brain, I'm ready. It clears the path for oxygen to flow freely and safely to where it is needed most. Many people skip movement in the morning, thinking they'll get to it later. But this is not a full workout. It's a gift you give yourself before the day even begins. A quiet, mindful habit that supports your body's most critical systems at the very moment they are waking up. And once it becomes a part of your morning, you'll notice the difference. You may feel steadier on your feet. You may think more clearly. You may even find your energy returning in ways you haven't felt in years. So here's the gentle invitation. Starting tomorrow, when you rise before reaching for your robe or your cup of tea, give yourself just 60 seconds. No equipment, no noise. Just you and your breath and a few graceful movements. Let it be a daily reminder that your body still has strength, your brain still has potential, and your life still has so much more to offer. Your future self may just thank you with another decade of clarity, vitality, and deep, beautiful presence. Element 3, the protein timing method. There is a quiet truth about aging that many people never hear until it is too late. After 65, the body begins to lose muscle, not slowly, but steadily and silently, especially during the early morning hours. Yet there is something remarkably simple we can do each day to push back against that loss and reclaim strength. balance, and independence. And it begins not with exercise or medication, but with the first meal you give your body within minutes of waking up. Groundbreaking studies from the National Institute on Aging have brought to light a powerful shift in how we understand nutrition for seniors. According to Dr. Rebecca Fleming, a leading expert in nutrition and aging, our bodies experience accelerated muscle breakdown between 3 and 8 in the morning. Unfortunately, this is also the time when many older adults are having just tea or toast, or skipping food entirely. That gap, she says, is not just missed opportunity. It is a daily moment where the body is searching for building blocks and finding none. But here is the hope. Dr. Fleming and her research team found that seniors who consume 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein within 30 minutes of waking experience up to 64% less muscle loss over a 5-year period compared to those who delay protein intake. That is not a small number. That is the difference between walking with confidence or needing assistance, between climbing stairs with ease or avoiding them altogether. Take Richard, a 70-year-old retired firefighter from Santa Rosa. Despite being active most of his life, Richard began noticing a change. He felt weaker getting up from chairs. His balance wavered. Carrying groceries became tiring. His doctor ran a body composition scan and found that Richard's muscle mass had dropped to a critical low. This wasn't just about strength. It was about survival, mobility, and long-term independence. After learning about the protein timing method, Richard made one change. Every morning, right after his hydration routine, he prepared a whey protein shake with almond milk and a scoop of Greek yogurt. Sometimes he switched it up with eggs or cottage cheese. What mattered most was not the food itself, but the timing. He ate it within 30 minutes of waking, every single day. 3 months later, his follow-up scan told a different story. His lean muscle mass had increased. His energy had returned. And most of all, Richard said, he felt like he got part of his life back. This is how you can do it too, within half an hour of waking after your first glass of water. Give your body a protein-rich breakfast. Choose foods that are easy to digest and packed with complete protein. A shake made with whey or a high-quality plant blend is perfect. 4 or 5 egg whites with 1 whole egg is another great choice. Greek yogurt with a scoop of protein powder also works well. If you are vegetarian, cottage cheese or a shake made from pea and rice protein is just as effective. The key is not perfection, it is consistency. Do it every morning, not most mornings. Not only when you remember, every morning. Think of it as medicine for your muscles, except it comes in the form of breakfast. Muscle loss is not something we see clearly in the mirror, but its consequences are visible everywhere. In how steadily we walk, how confidently we carry ourselves, how resilient we are when illness strikes. This small act of nourishment could be the quiet force that protects you from a fall, keeps your metabolism strong, and supports your body for years to come. So I ask you, gently and sincerely, can you give your body the gift of strength each morning? Not in theory, but in practice. Your muscles are still listening. They are still capable of growing, healing, and protecting you. All they need is the right signal, sent at the right time, and that time is now. Let breakfast become your foundation. Let it be an act of care and intention, and with each morning that passes, let your strength rise again, one nourishing bite at a time. Element 4, the 90-second mobility sequence. There is something uniquely delicate about the first few minutes after you rise from bed. Your body, having rested through the night, is not quite ready to move freely. You might feel it in your knees, in your hips, in the simple act of reaching for your slippers. That early stiffness is more than just a nuisance. It is a signal, a quiet reminder that your joints and muscles need gentle attention before they can carry you into your day with strength and ease. Orthopedic experts at the Mayo Clinic have shared a surprising truth. During the night, the synovial fluid that keeps your joints smooth and protected thickens, making your first movements in the morning more prone to friction and injury, according to Dr. Jonathan Becker, a leading rheumatologist. This friction doesn't just cause discomfort. Over time, it can lead to real deterioration of the joints and a slow decline in mobility. But there is a way to change that story, and it begins with just 90 seconds of mindful motion. Let me tell you about Eleanor, an 82-year-old grandmother from Fort Worth. For years, she battled morning pain that left her nearly immobile until well into the afternoon. Getting dressed felt like climbing a mountain. She used to sit at the edge of her bed each morning, waiting for the ache to pass, until her doctor introduced her to a simple practice that would change everything. It was this mobility sequence. At first, Eleanor was skeptical. 90 seconds seemed too short to matter, but she gave it a try. Within weeks, the tightness in her joints began to ease. Her body moved more freely, and 6 months later, she was walking to the park with her grandson, something she never imagined doing again. That little ritual became her gateway back to life. So what exactly is this morning routine? It begins while you are still sitting at the edge of your bed. Start by rotating your ankles gently, 10 times in each direction. These circles wake up the small joints in your feet and prepare them to support you. Next, with your legs still relaxed, move each knee in gentle, circular motions, 10 times each. This helps stimulate fluid around the knee joints, one of the most commonly strained areas in aging bodies. Now stand, holding on to a chair or dresser for balance if needed. Slowly bend your upper body to one side, then to the other, 5 times in each direction. Feel the stretch along your waist and ribs. Then, turn your torso slightly to the left and right, 5 times each way, allowing your spine to gently twist and loosen. Finally, bring your shoulders up and roll them backward and smooth. Full circles 10 times. Let your breath flow naturally as you do. These movements may seem small, but inside your body, something powerful is happening. That thickened fluid is beginning to flow again. Your joints are being nourished, and your muscles are preparing to move with grace instead of resistance. This 90-second practice is more than just an exercise. It is an invitation to begin your day with care, with respect for your body's needs, and with a quiet sense of empowerment. So ask yourself this: would you rather spend a minute and a half each morning easing your joints into motion, or spend hours in waiting rooms and therapy clinics later on? You have the power to choose. Tomorrow morning, take those first few moments for yourself. Move with gentleness, move with purpose, and notice how your body begins to respond with ease, strength, and perhaps even a little joy. This small act could be the beginning of something bigger, the return of comfort, confidence, and the freedom to move through your day on your own terms. Element 5, the mental clarity exercise. Of all the small habits you can add to your morning, this one might be the most quietly powerful. It takes only 60 seconds, requires no equipment, no movement, and no noise. And yet, it has the potential to protect your most precious gift, your mind. As we age, our brains face subtle shifts. Memory slips, focus fades, names come slower. But science now shows that we are not powerless. In fact, there is a simple exercise that may help your brain stay sharper, more resilient, and even younger than your years. At Stanford University's Brain Longevity Center, neuroscientists have discovered something extraordinary. Certain mental exercises performed within the first 30 minutes of waking can boost the production of a critical brain protein called BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This protein acts like a growth fertilizer for your brain cells. It helps you form new neural connections and strengthens the ones you already have. According to Dr. William Hayes, a leading neuroscientist at the center, early morning is a golden window when the brain is most open to forming new pathways. He explains that older adults who practice just one specific type of cognitive challenge during this window tend to maintain memory and mental performance at the level of people 15 to 20 years younger. Let me introduce you to Leonard, a 79-year-old retired school principal from Boston. A year ago, Leonard began to worry about his memory. He often forgot appointments and struggled to recall details from conversations. His father had suffered from dementia, and Leonard feared the same road was ahead. But instead of resigning himself to decline, he worked with his neurologist, who recommended this very morning exercise. Every day, Leonard would sit quietly and reflect backward through his previous day, step by step. After 2 months of doing it daily, his doctor was amazed. Cognitive tests showed improvement across multiple areas, and Leonard said something beautiful. "I feel like the fog has lifted. I'm more myself again." Here is how you can do it too. After finishing your mobility and circulation routines, sit comfortably with your eyes closed. Take a slow breath, then begin to recall the events of yesterday, but in reverse order. Start with what you did before bedtime. What did you have for dinner? Who did you speak with? What clothes did you wear in the morning? What was the first thing you did after waking? Trace your steps backward, gently and patiently. Try to visualize the images and details. This backward memory recall nudges your brain to build new neural pathways, rather than simply replaying familiar patterns. If it becomes easy over time, challenge yourself further. Try recalling 2 days back, or include more sensory details like smells or emotions. This is not just about memory, it is about engagement. It is about reminding your brain that it is still needed, still active, still alive with curiosity and power. Waiting until memory problems begin is like waiting until a car breaks down to change the oil. Start now. Begin while your mind is ready to receive the benefits. You deserve to experience the world with clarity and connection, not confusion and distance. Now take a moment to consider this. These 5 morning practices: hydration, circulation, mobility, nutrition, and now mental clarity, may seem simple, but together, they form a routine so powerful that some researchers believe it could add up to 20 more years of healthy, joyful life. Think of what that means. More years walking unaided, more years remembering birthdays and stories, more time to travel, to laugh, to hold hands with those you love. Just 5 minutes each morning, and your life could take a brighter turn. Remember how Harold, at 76, transformed his entire health profile in just a few months after adopting all 5 elements? His doctor couldn't believe it. His blood pressure normalized, his joint pain faded, and his cognitive results matched those of someone 15 years younger. What would your life feel like if your mind was clear, your steps steady, your heart strong? Begin tomorrow. Begin with 1 minute. Your future self is waiting to thank you. These 5 morning elements are more than just habits. Together, they form a foundation that supports your circulation, hydration, muscle strength, joint comfort, and mental clarity, the very pillars of a long and vibrant life. By tending to each of them in the first quiet minutes of your day, you're not just waking up your body, you're honoring it. This isn't about adding more time on a calendar. It's about giving more life to the time you still have. Imagine walking with ease in your 90s, remembering names and stories, laughing freely with the people you love. That future can begin tomorrow morning. If something from today's video spoke to you, take a moment to comment. I'll start below. And if you'd like more uplifting health guidance like this, feel free to subscribe and join us again. You're not alone on this journey. Your strength, your joy, your future, they're still unfolding, and the next step might just begin with your morning.